Hi, I'm Susan Winter for SusanWinter.net, and my friend had asked me to do a series on settling because it disturbs him when he sees people settle. He found a great mate. He did not settle. But I clearly have identified 3 different times when we will settle. 1, because we're lazy. 2, we're fearful. And 3, we think it's our best option. So let me start with each one. When you're lazy. There are times in your life when you're in between, a relationship is not a priority, you don't really have it on your radar, and somebody comes into your life. It's not your first choice, but they're okay, and they'll do. It's lazy. It's not a great relationship, but it's not a horrible relationship. And for whatever reason, you decide that this is your option. It's not completely fair to your partner, but people do it. It's just too much work to go after what they want, and it's not a priority. The second reason people would settle, which is for me, in my business, the most disturbing, is fear. And I think most people truly settle out of fear. Fear that they can't find anybody else. Fear that nobody else will want them. Fear that they can't do any better. I have seen people stay in relationships where they are so miserable, and it's fear. It's fear of leaving this person because they have a greater fear of being alone. I truly believe that we will never manifest the partner of our dreams until we're comfortable being alone, which means that we have the power to say, I would like to have this, I don't need it. When we no longer desperately need a person, they will no longer consume our thoughts and control our lives. But there are so many people who are fearful of being alone. Their fear of being alone is greater than their fear of agony and pain in a relationship. And I know there's this big thing about people say you need to be alone, and I also realize how few individuals have the courage to take a time out and learn to get comfortable with that. But if you find that you're settling and you're in an uncomfortable relationship and you know it, but you're fearful, you're only fearful because you have a greater fear of being alone. And the only way to master that fear of being alone is to walk through it. I do remember doing this a long time ago, okay? And my fear of not dating and not having a partner was great because of where I was in my life. I had everything. All I needed was a guy to put in there. And I was also in a remote location where I didn't really have friends or family. So I kind of needed that partner. And I looked at that fear and I thought, wow, that's driving you into substandard relationships. Your fear. So you're going to walk into the center of it. And at first I was uncomfortable. The first couple nights, being alone, not thinking about anybody, not dating. And then I got comfortable. And I realized that I had a fear of the fear. Being alone wasn't difficult. I found a routine for myself. As a matter of fact, I started to cherish my alone time. And then later, like a month or 2 later, I was just someplace and I met somebody. Fabulous. And that relationship began. But unless you're willing to embrace your mental fear of being alone, which is never as great as the actual experience, you may always be settling. So I truly encourage you to just take that and handle it. And you'll realize that you were terrified for no reason. It's not that bad. It's actually pretty wonderful. And the third reason that people settle, and to be honest and to give them some validation, is that that is truly their best option. We all see friends that marry down or marry somebody not worthy of them, or that partner with somebody that we look and we think, oh my God, she could have done so much better. Why is he with her? For whatever reason, maybe it's their lifestyle, maybe it is their thinking, maybe it is their age, maybe it's a number of factors. They look at the entire selection in front of them, and in their honest assessment, they don't think they can do any better. I know a girl who waited till she was in her late 30s to get serious about finding a partner. Now, her life goal had always been to marry and have children. Well, guess what? By her late 30s, there weren't that many guys left. And the ones she wanted to marry didn't want her. She chose her best choice from what was available. Now, her primary goal was to have a family. So she negotiated with herself that she would choose a man who wanted her and wanted what she wanted. And I have to tell you, it's about maybe 6 or 7 years now. And she has a child and they're expecting their second. Can I say that she's blissfully happy? It may not have been her perfect ideal man, but she was rational and she realized, I am capable of getting this selection, and of this selection, I choose this man. And they are relatively happy. And I don't think that she would not have wanted that choice. She's got a beautiful family. So there are times that our career or the way that we live our lives or some aspect of our personality has just limited the choice that we have. I remember when my father died, I told my mother, I said, I know and you know that you can't replace him. But there may be a time that you just want to be sitting at the kitchen table with somebody and having a companion. And she chose not to do that. But that is a choice because of age and because of available partners that some people make, and it is a rational and smart choice for that time period. So I hope that that explains the different aspects of settling, and I hope that you can find some value in whatever position you may have if you're on that spectrum. Thank you so much. Susan Winter for SusanWinter.net.